boys, back with another video. Today we're going to be doing a good old-fashioned 3v3 tier list. Now I do have the check PvP up again, so I'll be able to see which one's performing. As you can see, we kind of get an idea of what's doing really good and what's not, because you would see multiple of the same class. As you can see, we see a ton of Pharaoh Druids, a couple mages here. So that being said, before we start off this video, if anyone knows if you can still acquire the Mantle of Crimson Blades without having uh, the the conduit or whatever, like, can you just go to the mob and get it? So, because I tried to do it, and the NPC is not even there for the thing, like, at all. I don't even think you can get it anymore in terms of renown, unless you already had it when you played it. Like, are you able to just get it on a new character by farming the mob, or do you have to actually have the past, whatever? You guys will let me know. Let me know about it, because I am trying to get it. But I don't know if it's just if it's not possible anymore. If I was on my rogue, my main rogue, like Exvic, before it was permanent bullying ban, then I could, I would have it. But I don't. So let me know, guys, if you guys know anything about that. Do I need it, or can I just go to the mob and just farm it? Because I would much rather just farm it. Um, well, you gotta farm it anyway. But first off, we're starting off with is good old-fashioned Warlock, Affy the Warlocks. I don't know how good they're doing at the moment, but I know they're doing okay. So where is he? Okay, Affy Warlocks. So Affy, as you can see, we go from 2400 to skyrocket to 2100. So obviously, Affy's gonna be pretty not that good. Regardless, it is 3v3, so for now I'm gonna put it at A tier. Um, Actually, yeah, because it's at least A tier, even if nobody's playing it. It's Affy Warlock. The next one we have, so for the comps you can play with Affy. Affy SP is probably insanely good. Affy Feral Druid, Affy Assassination Rogue. Those are pretty much the ones that come to mind, and they're pretty much just the basic. You just do dam and a ton of dam. I'm surprised. I mean, I can see why locks aren't playing, but they are still very strong. The next one we have is Demo Warlock. Demo Warlocks are doing pretty good, honestly. They're doing as good as Affy. Actually, they're probably doing better than what Affy is doing right now, which is actually pretty surprising. So, that being said, we're actually going to put it above the list here. Uh, I'm not too surprised because I've seen a lot more demos than I have Affliction Warlocks. Mainly because they work so well with Frost Mage and SP. Those are just both the goated comps. Play with the Frost Mage or a SP and you're pretty much they're free wins. And Demo's just a lot stronger overall. Mainly because of the control, not necessarily the damage. But I would say yeah, it's doing pretty good right now. The next one we have is Destro Warlock. I don't really see Destro doing that great. Yep. So we go from 2300, not even 2400, to instantly 2100 over here. So Destro is not going to be that good. You can play Destro Pharaoh Druid, Destro Assassination Rogue. That's pretty much it. Maybe you could like mess around with like Fury Destro or something like that, but it's just not going to feel the same. It's nowhere near as good as Avi or Demo is doing right now. So it's just not going to be that good. The next one we're gonna go with is we're gonna go with a Frost Mage. How's Frost Mage? So it looks like Frost Mages are doing pretty well, to be honest. As you can see, we have a multiple, so that usually gives you a good indication whether it's pretty good or not. Now, I don't know if it's S tier, but I think at the moment I'm bound to put it at S tier, mainly because of Feral Druid, Frost Mage. Fair or Assassination. The main thing actually is Outlaw Frost Mage. It's very strong, and it's not really because of the Outlaw Rogue. It's just because of the amount of CC you're both getting on top of the burst that Frost Mage has. So that automatically makes it. And you can play Frost Mage with literally Frost Mage Demo, Frost Mage SP, Frost Mage Rogue, Frost Mage Feral Druid, Frost Mage Warrior. You can play everything with the Frost Mage. So it looks like they're doing really good at the moment. So that's not too surprising, but it looks like they're doing it. They're comp wise in 3v3 arena, they're doing good. So that's a good thing. The next thing we have is Fire Mage. Yeah, so we have 12400 and immediately goes down to 1900. Ooh, that is bad. So that's even worse than Destro. At least Destro is still viable. Yeah, Fire Mage, don't even try. As you can see, nobody's playing it. It's awful. It's always been awful since Shadowlands. Just no point in playing it. Next one we have is Arcane Mage. I actually saw a few Arcane Mages at the top here. So here we go from 2600 to around 22 to 2100. So obviously gives you an indication that it's not that good. Again, Frost Mage is going to be 10 times better, if we're being honest. But Arcane, you can play Arcane Pharaoh, Arcane Assassination Rogue, maybe Arcane Sub even. I haven't really seen that many Arcane Mages. It is a fun spec, but if they had 2 blocks, it would make the class so much better. It just feels so bad with 1 block for Fire Mage, and it's not enough. Defensively, they're just not strong. They're so weak. Offensive wise, they're actually pretty good. So that's unfortunate. The next one we're gonna go with is Unholy DK. Yeah, so here again, we go to 2400 to immediately skyrocket to 2100. Again, another indication that the comp's just not that good. Um, I would say it's actually worse than Arcane and Destro at the moment. Now they did get a few buffs, so they are doing pretty good damage now. I don't know if it's like, Unholy DK is a kind of class that it needs to have a lot of consistency and it needs to have a lot of burst. It's kind of just it's only good when it's broken, if I'm putting it straight. Because when it's not, it's terrible. It's like Sub Rogue, Enhancement Shaman, Fire Mage, Arcane Mage, Destro. They either have to be insanely OP or they're just always gonna be B tier. So that's unfortunate for the Unholy DKs. I'd actually much rather play Unholy than Frost, even though I like Frost more. It just gets annoying facing it. Next one we have is we're gonna check out the good old Frost DK. Again, wow. So 2300 cut to immediately 2100. That is a terrible sign. Now, you can make Frost DK work. They do a ton of damage, but that's all there is to it. Their DK just sucks. I'm not gonna lie. Now, Frost DKs, the problem with Frost DK is what it's always been. Its consistency lacks. Now, it does do a ton of damage. The problem is you have to use your defensive cooldowns offensively to even get those off. So you're hoping you win in the first 2 goes, or you die because you're out of cooldowns. You have to use everything just to be able to do your go because there's so much milli CC in the game. It's pretty crazy. So yeah, Frosty Gay, Unholy DK not looking too great. Next one we have is Shadow Priest. Shadow Priest is actually doing pretty good. If I do a little ratio here. Yeah, so they're about even. So we could say, actually, well, let me see. So I think Mage is possibly better at the moment. It's kind of hard to say, to be honest. So Shadow Priest, we're gonna put at where is it? We'll put it at S tier, to be honest. Now, whether this one's better or not, I would probably say after the nerfs that Frost mages have. But again, it's kind of hard. Um, they're just really good. They're really good comps, mainly because again, they work so well with other comps. It's actually insane. SP Demo, SP Pharaoh, SP Assassination Rogue, um, and on and on. SP Warrior, especially like Fury and Arms, they're very strong at the moment. So, uh, or even SP Windwalker, I can see that working as well. So it looks like SP and Frost Mages are actually doing pretty good. Next one we have is Holy Priest. Now I know Holy Priest got some big buffs, so they're doing a ton of healing now. Um, yeah, it looks like they're doing a lot better in threes at least. So they're definitely A tier. We'll just put it in the front. I'm not saying, when I put the healers at the left, this doesn't mean they're the #1 slot. I just put the healers on. I do healers and DPS separately. So it looks like Holy Priest. I mean, I'm not too surprised. They got a massive buff. It does really, really good healing. Now, defensively wise, it's not the best, but it looks like it's actually pretty good. Now again, it's kind of lower on the list here. So as you can see, we dropped from 25 to immediately 24 to 23 to. So yeah, definitely A tier. That being said, what about Disc Priest? How are we looking, Disc? Oh, okay. So Disc is kind of around Holy Priest. That is kind of surprising. And it looks like Holy Priest is doing better. Wow, okay. So Disc Priest is definitely A tier, but it's behind Holy Priest at the moment. Probably because of the output of healing that Holy Priests are getting right now, and they work so well with like Outlaw Frost Mage. or really any setup comp, like even a jungle with a holy priest could be wild. So it's like just the two really insane comps. If you can play it well and find good people, you're either way. Both of these are just going to be good specs to play, but definitely not S tier at the moment for now. Next one we have is we're going to go with Fury Warrior. So I'm surprised to see Fury. Fury is actually insanely good at the moment, but I want to see 2500. So again, another kind of A tier comp. If it's not, if it does, excuse me, if it doesn't have multiple over 2500, it's usually not S tier. It just depends though. It really does, because some of the classes up here don't have a ton of them, but that you can tell that there's way more of them. So Fury Warrior at the moment definitely better um than Affy, but I don't know if it's better if it's doing better than Demo. You'd be surprised how broken Demo is. Okay, it's definitely no, never mind. Okay. It's definitely better than Demo. You can just tell there's a lot more, even if you go yeah, not even close. Okay. Next one we're going to go with is Arms Warrior. So Arms Warrior not doing as great as I thought. Honestly, I would expect Arms Warriors to be absolutely full throttling, but it looks like they're still good. They're definitely good, so easily A tier. But are they better than Fury? I want to see how. Let's see. Okay, Fury's definitely better. And if I put it versus Demo, let's see this. Yeah, it's definitely a little bit better than Demo as well. So, Arms Warrior is, again, Warrior in general is really good. The problem is like having to catch somebody and then playing the correct comp. It can always go wrong and it can be very annoying, especially when casters are good, because it's like you're just chasing the entire game. It is so frustrating, but it is what it is. That's the thing about not having double freedom as an H-POW now. Now that it's pretty much garbage. Even if it has solid healing, the only reason it was viable is because of double bop and double freedom. Now it's like everyone's just moonwalking with permaslows that don't DR. So, good to know. Next one we have is going to be MM Hunter. Now I know MM Hunters are very strong at the moment, but I don't know how strong in 3v3 arena. So again, we drop from 2400 to immediately 2100 down here. So it's definitely A tier. Um, I think we can say that. It's definitely still A tier, but it's not like, it's definitely like the worst version of, so if we go MM Hunter versus Abby, actually, no, it's definitely better. If you can tell if it's better if there's way more, like as you can see, and then yeah, okay, that makes more sense. What about Demo? So Demo are like to MM. Yeah, they're about even. Even though these guys are higher, you have to count more down here because it's not just those four people that I count. All right, so MM very good. Seems to be doing better than Affy in the terms of numbers of people playing it. Usually, the more people playing it means the better that it is. That's usually how I rate it. And I usually don't use check PvP, but I actually start using it because it gives me an idea on what's being played more. And if it's being played more, it means it's better. That's usually what that means. 99% of the time. You don't play a class that's bad more than a class like it just does more like that. Next we're going with this BM Hunter. I'll be surprised if they're not S tier here. Oh, oops. So, ooh, not even 2400. Wow. They do have quite a few 2200, so definitely A tier. I'm surprised. Maybe just nobody's playing them. I mean, I'm pretty sure BM's very strong at the moment with jungle, but MM's like destroying it. Actually, okay, so it's kind of even, but I think BM's a little bit better, mainly probably because of jungle. So we'll put it in front of MM, but I think Demo just squashes it. As you can see, if we look at the demos versus BM. Okay, no, definitely better. Okay, BM's better. What about arms? I'm just checking them real quick so I can try to get the right position here. Um, okay, if we're not counting some of these people because they're the same. So yeah, okay, BM's definitely better than arms. And I think Fury would just destroy it, but we'll see. Yeah, okay. Fury definitely just destroys it. We have a few down here, but there's way more warriors than there are. BM hunters, which makes sense. I mean, Fury Warriors works very well with Ret Paladins and Frost Mage and even SP. So all the good specs up here, they're gonna work with a Fury Warrior. Even a BM Fury can work. So it looks like BM's actually doing pretty good, but it's not quite S tier. That's fine though. So let's go to the next one here. So the next one we're gonna go with is going to be Survival Hunter. I do not expect them to be good at all. Okay, yeah, 2300 to immediately 2100 normally means that it's not that good. So we can easily just put it down here. Now we can actually test it here versus Unholy DK. So, we have a few here, few. Okay, so as you can see, it gets way more DKs down. That's kind of how you know. So is DK okay? So okay, survival's good, but it looks like it's not. It looks like Arcane and Deshra are actually winning the lead in the B tier folder here, which is not too surprising because they're very strong with certain classes. See, as you can see, this when it starts getting like this low, you kind of can just say, okay, well this spec's not that great. So it looks like these. So just look at it this way: these are all viable, but they are off meta specs. So keep in mind, I'm not saying it's unplayable. Just because it's B tier does not mean it's unplayable. It's definitely playable. All these specs are playable, maybe other than like Serve. Well, they can one shot. They have like a 60-0, so they're still viable. But that's pretty much all there is to it. So it doesn't mean they're terrible, they're not playable. It just means they're just not in the meta. So keep that in mind. Next one we're going with is going to be Enhancement Shaman. I don't know how enhancement are doing right now. Oh, wow, that's yeah. Okay. So enhancement and fire mage are doing oh, that's bad. Okay, so enhance is doing better than fire mage, so but absolutely terrible. I feel bad. And if you look at it, it's the same person a lot of times. We have a few here that aren't the same person. So even if they are the same person, I don't really care too much. So yeah, enhancement. I mean, I kind of knew that. I knew enhancement or were better, but yeah, nobody's playing. Again, when you don't see the spec multiple times at high rating, it means either one, it's the same person, or two, nobody's playing it. Do we really expect enhancement shaman to be in your every match, 3v3 match? No, nobody plays it. It's terrible, just like fire mage. Next one we have is gonna be resto shaman. How is resto doing? Yeah, as you can see, we go from 25 to immediately 23. So we can easily say that it's definitely A tier, but how good in the A tier list are we here? We'll see here in a second. So we can do Russell Shaman versus Holy Priest. Holy Priest is better. Now we can do Russell Shaman versus Disc Priest. We could say Disc is probably better. They're probably even, so better than Disc. Or wait, maybe it's. Hold on, let me do this again. Okay, Holy Priest is better. Okay, what about Disc? Hmm, I think Disc is still a little bit better in terms, so you can argue whether one you want, which one's better. I think Disc is only better because it works way well with Jungle. That's pretty much it. Or like Cupid compared to WrestleSham, which is like boomy DH type of comp. But it looks like they're all still doing good. Again, I might switch these depending on how the other healers are doing. So keep in mind, they may go up the S tier. I'm just basing it off of, you just wait, trust. I just have to see how the other healers are doing before I can put it at S tier, because I'm not going to put everything at A. That being said, let's go ahead and check out Ellie out. I have pretty good hopes for Ellie. I mean, it has a one-shot build. It looks like it's doing pretty good. Yeah, it's not doing as great as I thought. Wow, okay. So definitely around A tier, I'd assume. But it looks like it's not beating anything on there. Honestly, you could even say it's not that good, to be honest. It might even be B tier if that's unfortunate. Okay, so it's better than Destro, so it's definitely A tier. Now I gotta count it versus Affy, so where's Affy? Okay. Yeah, so Ellie's better than Affy. I wanna see Demo versus we can kind of just skip some of the ladders here, so it looks like Ellie okay, so we could say they're about even here, so it looks like Ellie's are doing better than MM Hunters. But are they doing let's see here. they're yeah, okay. MM's definitely better. So this looks more uh good. So it looks like Ellie's better than it looks like Ellie's being played more than Affy, but they are both doing not the best. So while they are good in a sense, they're kind of the lower bracket of A tier. I don't really want to put them at B because personally, I feel like an Ellie would destroy anything on this list. Same thing with an Affy. Like these two specs they do a ton of damage. They may not be broken, but they're still insanely good. So I'm not gonna put them at B. Let's go with the next one here though. The next one we're gonna be going over is gonna be Assassination Rogue. How is it looking here? Oh man. Wow, okay, that is bad. Okay, I did not expect it to be this low. It looks like, wow, okay. So they're almost losing to Destro. Now they are a little bit better, but that is very disappointing. I thought they were actually really good at the moment. Let's see, can they compete? Okay, so they beat Affy. It looks like a lot of things are beating the Affy Warlocks because nobody's playing Affy. So there's that. What about Ellie? Does it beat Ellie in a sense? No, it does not beat Ellie, as we can see. It gets a little bit more down here, but that's like the 2100 range. We don't really count that. You count like around here. So it's a little bit better, but it's not like insanely better. Actually, no, we can definitely say Ellie's a little bit better. That's what I meant. Okay, so there's that. So at least we got that down. So I was gonna put it at B tier, but I think it can compete with Affy, and you can make comps work with it. Affy, Assassination Rogue, Frost Mage, Assassination Rogue, SP. So go on. Even Assassination Boomy would work. Next one we're going with is gonna be Outlaw Rogue. Outlaw Rogue seems doing actually pretty solidly, to be honest. So, let me cancel this out here. So Outlaw's actually doing way better than Assassination Rogue in the sense. So that's, I mean, honestly, I was expecting Assassination Rogue. I think mainly because Outlaw, when Mage and SP and even Boomy are really good, Outlaw becomes really good all of a sudden because it is a dampener, so it works so well with Frost Mages and stuff like that. So I can see it like Frost Mage Outlaw or Outlaw Boomy just being insanely good because they're just defensively insane. So we can do here Outlaw versus Ellie. Let's see how this is looking. It looks like Outlaw's doing it a little bit better, so we can do that. Outlaw versus MM Hunter. So it's around behind. It's behind MM, but still better than the Ellie. It looks like more people are playing Outlaw than they ever are Assassination. Um, so there's that. But it, I'm pretty sure Assassination is beating Affy, or it's beating Destro. So okay, yeah, so it's beating Destro a little bit. I mean, if you look up here, it's kind of even, but then it kind of cuts down. Again, nobody's playing these specs, so it's kind of hard to say if it's. I think it's good enough to still play. Like I don't like B tiers are going to be very difficult to play, but like Assassination Rogue and Affy, I just believe that they're still really good. They're just like nobody's really playing them, but I guess it's just how some classes are. You want to play the meta, so let's go on. The next one we're going to be going on with is going to be Sub Rogue, the one and only. I'm not expecting it to be too high, but maybe. Okay, so it looks like it's definitely A tier. Is it better than Assassin at the moment? Yep, definitely better than Assassin, which is actually wait, I want to go down a little bit more. So yeah, definitely better than Assassin. So that's surprising to see. It's still A tier in 3v3. Um, so better than Assassin. Is it better than Elemental Shaman in terms of people playing it? Um, it looks like it's better than Shaman at the moment. And I think Outlaw would destroy it most likely, but who knows? Let's see. Let me get rid of the Ellie here. So sub, Outlaw. Oh, they're kind of even, but yeah, that is hard to be honest. Cause okay, so sub's probably not better in overall sense, but it looks like they're both even, so you can argue which one. I think Outlaw's better because of Frost Mage and Boomy Outlaw, but sub. The thing is, sub was really broken then, so it probably only got that high when it was like absolutely busted, when it was literally like doing insane with the burst. So that's the only reason I think it's that high in the first place, but it looks like they're still doing pretty good. Next one we have is going to be Boomy. How is Boomy doing? I've actually seen a lot of Boomies lately because it looks like they got once they got their buff, they're actually doing a lot of damage. So we go 2400 to immediately 2200. That is not a good sign. So is it better than Destro? Yes. Okay, it's a yeah, definitely better than Destro. What about Affy? Is it better than Affy? Yep, definitely better than F. Let's go a little bit higher. What about Outlaw Rogue? Um, okay, so a little bit under Outlaw Rogue. That's again another surprising thing. More people are playing Outlaw than they are Boomy. Yeah. Well, yeah, we're at 2100, so you can't really count this. Like once we get to the 2100 mark, you kind of have to look up, and you can well, okay, maybe not. Maybe it's a little bit better than Outlaw. Again, you can argue which one you guys think. I'm just basing it off of like my knowledge of it. So it looks like MM destroys Boomies. Yeah. So a little bit, yeah, okay. Next one we're going with is gonna be Pharaoh, dude. I'm very happy to see what Pharaoh's at, to be honest. So we can check that out here. Pharaoh, dude, very, very good. See, again, when you see multiple of these, you know the spec's doing good. And the main reason it's doing this good in the first place is because of Jungle and Mage Pharaoh. So it's easily S tier by default. So it's definitely one of the, I can see why because the jungle is broken right now. But that's actually our third S tier spot at the moment for 3v3 arena. Yeah, so Pharaoh is beating SP as well. So beats it beats SP, but it doesn't beat Frost Mage, correct? Okay, yeah, way correct, way correct. So yeah, if you guys are looking to play Pharaoh Druid, even though defensively they're not that good, Jungle and Mage Pharaoh, maybe even SP Pharaoh are very good. MM Pharaoh, you can play a lot with the Pharaoh. You'd be surprised. So it looks like Pharaoh is just Ellie Pharaoh, Affy Pharaoh. There's so much you can play with the Pharaoh. It's insane. But it looks like Jungle is going to be your go-to. Next one we're gonna go with is gonna be Wrestler Druid. I don't really have much hope for it. So we have 125. So that's not in the best spot that I would think it was gonna be, but it has a 2500 in it. Looks like okay, so it's worse than Wrestler Shaman. So that's not too good. So it doesn't beat the highest. So I think this is one of the lowest ranking healers on the list. For now, it's just gonna go at B tier. Um, you can play a dampener comp, and again, I'm gonna switch these depending on what the HPL and Presovoker. So just keep in mind, if these guys are higher, then they're gonna be S tier. But if they're like this, they're around the same, then we're gonna end up switching some things. So don't comment yet until it's over. Then you'll know what's where is where. So let's go to the next one here. Next one we're going with is going to be DH. Now DH did get buffed, and I see that they're doing better. How are they doing in 3v3 arena? Oh man, we go from a 2400 mark to immediately 2100. That's a terrible sign. Pretty much means that this spec is not good. So if we go Destro to DH, so yeah, it is losing to Destro in terms of playing. That's pretty wild. What about Arcane? So DH to Arcane. So it looks like Arcane is doing a little bit better, but they're about even. So we can put it um in terms of overall sense, I'll put it better because DH Boomy. Now, even though nobody's playing it, these are like the misfits. This means you're not really gonna see them. I'd say the only one you're gonna see in this list more than the others is Frost DK because obviously it's a ton of bursts. A lot of times people don't know how to use cooldowns, so I can see it being good still, really good, especially like with an arms or a fury just being able to pump. But that's pretty much it. So again, they're just not going to be your go-to specs for at the moment. Now, you can make it work. I'm just saying, I'm based off my numbers here, nobody's playing it. So I'm not going to put it something at A tier when it's not being played literally at all. So that's a good sign. That's how I like mark stuff. And that's how I pretty much see if something's meta or not, because you can see if it's really good, it's going to be really high rating, just like Frost Mage and these guys up here. It means they're still playable, you're still seeing them, but they're not literally, there's not just one person above 2400. There's at least a few. and it looks like there's a lot of people playing in the 2200 bracket. If there's no one in 2200 bracket, it means it's Dookie. So we're gonna keep DH there and go on here. The next one we're going with is gonna be Ret Paladin. Now I have seen a lot of Cupids, and I assume Arms and Fury Ret Paladin is doing very good as well. On top of BM or MM, there's a lot of comps, so I'm curious to see how this goes. Oh man, again, we don't have a single 2400, and yeah, these guys aren't looking too good at the moment. So yeah, it looks like Rhett is down for the count here. That's unfortunate. So Rhett's doing better than Afik. Yeah, so we'll see if it's doing good enough to be in the A tier folder. Yep. Okay, so it beats it. What about Ellie? Does it beat it? Um, no, it does not. I don't think. So Rep Paladin, still good though, still good, but not very good. I'm not gonna lie. So I was expecting it to be really OP. I was expecting it to like literally be like one of the top specs in the game, but it looks like that's not the case. So we do Ret to Assassination. Ret wins by a little bit, but if we get down here, we can kind of see that Assassination is coming up. Again, it's kind of hard. I'd say Ret's better overall. I mean, Cupid and Ret Warrior is going to be very good at the moment, so just comp bias, I'm going to put it better for now. Next one we're going with is going to be HBAL, so this is how we see what the other healers are looking like here. So 2400, 2300, so um we can do our thing here. Okay, so it looks like HBALs are a little bit worse. As you can see, once we get down here, you can start seeing a lot more disc. They're close. I'd say disc is still better, but it looks like it's doing better. What about Holy Bruise? Yeah, Holy Bruise immediately destroys it. Yeah, yeah. All right. So for now, it's gonna be better than Wrestle Sham, but worse in terms of disc. Actually, we can check one more time just so you guys can see it. So as you can see, a lot more H pals. Now they're almost close, but it looks like H pals just are better in sync. So again, these may get moved depending on how I feel about them. So if I go Resto Druid to H pal, let's see. So we have a few Resto Druids and then we have a ton of H pals. That's how you can. That's how I basically deduct it. So it's not just the first four or first five. You go down. So it's definitely better than Resto Druid. So again, these may get moved depending on what this Presvoker and Mistweaver are. But let's go on here. Next one we're going with is going to be Dev Evoker. So let me get there here. Dev Evoker, how are we looking? Again, you can tell 2288 to immediately 2100. That is a very bad sign. Um, I've seen it work with some comps though, but it looks like it's still doing better than Deathstroke. Is it still doing good enough to where it can top off in three or A tier? So let's see. Let's go to Affy, the Dev Evoker. Okay, so it looks like it's doing better than Affliction Warlock. What about Assassination? Assassination is better. So Devoker, we can put it in front of Affy Warlock, but it looks like it's way behind on Assassin. It's not that far behind, but I guess just nobody's really playing it for some reason. Maybe because, I mean, I can see them being very good. They do a lot of damage. They're really good at kiting. Maybe they're just not that great because the current meta is kind of just really bursty, so they kind of just die. I don't know. You guys will have to tell me. Alright, let's go to the next one. Next one is going to be Windwalker. I'm actually again curious to see how Windwalker's doing. They are very good at the moment. Windwalker Boomy is very good. So again, yeah, we can tell that's doing very good at the moment. We can go Windwalker to MM Hunter. Yeah, Windwalker's doing better, so we can immediately put it up in front of MM. Is it doing better than Demo? That's a good question. So Demo to Windwalker. Windwalker's doing better. Okay. What else we got here? Arms Warrior. Is it doing better than Arms? Yep, better than Arms Warrior. Okay. So we're getting somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. Finally, we're getting somewhere. Ooh, okay. So Windwalker is. They're very tied. Okay, so now we can kind of see here a little bit. Okay, so it's behind Fury, but it's actually in a good spot, surprisingly. So it's behind. Oh yeah, we have to check BM. Okay, good thing I noticed that. So Windwalker to BM Hunter. Let's see what we think is gonna be better. Okay. So Windwalker, it looks like overall is better, but as you can see, we get some down here. So, mm, kind of hard say. I'd say Windwalker's still better, to be honest. Just at the moment, it just does so much burst. But again, it does die really quick. Oh, it's really hard though. They do a ton of burst. Okay, I'm gonna argue and say BM is better because of jungle. That's the only reason. The only comp you can play with a Windwalker is like maybe Boomy Windwalker, like back in the day. Maybe you can do some like a Frost DK Windwalker or Arms Warrior or something like that. Maybe I mean I just don't see Windwalker being good defensively, but it's very OP damage wise, especially at the nerfs. But let's move on here. Next one we're going with is going to be Preservoker. So we're going to check this out real quick. And again, if you guys like me checking it like this, let me know because I've just started doing it and I might plan to keep doing this because it shows me what's being played. So again, we have 2400 immediately down to 2200. So that's kind of a bad sign. So we can do Preservoker to Restlesham. Okay, Restlesham's beating it. So it's going to be... Actually, we can do Resto Druid to Preservoker here. And it looks like it's very hard. So it looks like they're not. They're still doing good. They're very close. So it looks like Wrestler's actually doing better. So it looks like Presivokers are, for some reason, not being played. Yeah, it's a very bad time. We go from 24 to immediately 2100. I mean, that's still 12 slots. I pay I. That's very hard. Do I want? I believe that it's A tier though, but it looks like just nobody wants to play it. Because Wrestler's right on him. He is very close. Like, if you could argue and say Wrestler's actually better, but then we get down to here, but these are like right on the verge of. Okay, I'm just gonna say it's better than Wrestler just because of overall sense, but it looks like they're tied, so it looks like nobody's really playing Press. This may change, remember. It just depends on how I look at the other healers. So, we'll see here. Just don't lose me yet. Okay, next one we're going with is going to be Mistweaver. How is Mistweaver looking? Now, I know it got buffed and it's doing a lot better. Yeah, it's definitely doing a lot better. So how are we going to deduct this? So Wrestleshawn versus Mistweaver. Um, long term, it looks like Wrestleshawn's a little better. We have a few here. Very close, very close. Okay, so Wrestleshawn's probably better overall. So we'll put it here. So again, any spec that has multiple above 2300, it means it's still good. Like it's still viable. But then if you look at like Preservoker, we can kind of tell that we go from here to 2200 right here. So that's 4 people compared to the other guy, which had 11 or 12. That's kind of how you can know. Again, nobody's going to play a class that's bad. It's just not going to happen. There's going to be a few people, but if you see a ton of them above 2300, it means a lot of people are enjoying it and playing it. So looks like Preservoker and Messenger just are not being played that much. Possibly because uh you kind of need to play. I mean, I don't know actually why they wouldn't be playable. I guess just nobody's playing them. Maybe just Holy Priest is that much popular. Same thing with Disc and maybe even H Power and Shaman. You guys have to let me know. I personally believe it's A tier, but based off the numbers, nobody is playing it. So I can't put it at A tier if it's so much under. It's like yeah. Next we're going with is gonna be Augmentation. Augmentation Evoker. Oh man, okay. So again, this is where we're going to show. Fire Mage is actually doing better, but it's still absolutely trash. That is so unfortunately funny. You could even say Aug is D tier. Like it's that bad. It's literally I think tanks can be better than Aug. So that's pretty much that. So we're gonna go through here real quick for the healers so we can check them out real quick and deduct whether we want to put it at S tier or not. So Holy Priest. Holy Priest to Disc Priest. How are we looking? Okay, so we're gonna put Holy Priest S tier. Okay, so now we're gonna do Disc Priest to H-Bow. It looks like that is close. It's very, very close. Very close, I'm not gonna lie. Now, I don't know whether I don't believe H-Bow is better than Disc overall because of the defensive cooldowns they're getting. but it looks like Disc and Holy Priest are going to be the S tier. Let's do Holy Paladin and Mistweaver here real quick. It looks like H-Bows are being a lot more played than Mistweavers. And what about Russell Sham? So we can check Russell Sham here real quick. And it looks like they're very close. Very, very close. Kind of hard to say which one's better. It looks like H-Bows are just going to be better right now. Just, just defensively wise, they're probably a lot better. But it looks like WrestleSham's going to have a lot more healing possibly. But it looks like they're both close to each other. So this is my tier list, ladies and gentlemen. Again, that's kind of how these tier lists go sometimes. Just some people just don't want to play the spec, which is kind of understandable. Um, because, they're just not that great at the moment. But it looks like WrestleSham absolutely destroys uh, Presovoker. So as you can see, we already checked it, but just checking it a few more times. So here again, it's sorta getting close, and then it just gets dominated. It's just not gonna happen. Unfortunately. So now we can check Resto Druid too. Resto Shaman, and if they don't beat Resto Shaman, it means they don't beat Disc. They don't beat anything. As you can see, we're getting a lot more Resto Shamans down below. Okay, so that makes more sense. So again, this is all based off the information that I'm getting. So let me know what you guys think about this tier list, ladies and gentlemen. If you're looking to play more 3v3, this is the comps you should be playing. The A tier is still really good, but once you get higher up here, these mean they're S tier. Again, before we end the video here, I want to do a Fury Warrior to SP ratio. They're actually very close, but it looks like they might be good enough to be S tier, to be honest. Let's see. It looks like they are. Yeah, so let's put Fury Warrior to S tier. Now, you can even say Fury Warrior is better than SP at the moment. I'm not really 100% sure. They're kind of even, to be honest. But let's see Arms Warrior to SP. Okay, so SP beats Arms. Are they close, though, in terms of playing? Okay, let's check SP to Arms Warrior. So we have, looks like a much more built in. They're close, honestly, but I don't know if I want to put it at S tier or not. So as you can see, we're getting way more SPs than we are arms. So we're just gonna keep it where it's at for now. This is my tier list, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, let me know. I do enjoy making them, especially if some people do get mad. It is what it is. But it looks like Windwalker's better than Arms Away right now. So as you can see, we go, yeah, definitely. So we kind of knew that. So if it's better, that's pretty much my tier list. And the last one I'm gonna check before I get off or end the video is BM versus Windwalker one more time. Yeah, I think BM's slightly better. That's why it's still not there. Now I want to do BM versus SP. I know I'm doing extending the video, but it's fine. SP. Okay, so again, yeah, SP is better. They're not really close either, so I'm not gonna put it as tier. So this is my tier list. I put a lot of work in these, so if you could smash that like button and comment down below which one I should do next. Should I do a regular BG tier list? Should I do my guides? What do you guys want to watch? But I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace, peace.